salvage what we could get. 6 and 7, not too bad of a first target when the zone is just not doing you any favors. But 6 sacks for FW Sports will go down, and 4 will be their final tally as we now head into phase number 5.
Yeah, they have done a bit of a number to Sonics on their way to the zone. 2 players remaining. And quite a rotation still yet to be made. GNL also getting knocked out by the zone there in 11th place. And zone pool has gone a little south of Quarry. Earlier, still feeling pretty good, but RV also may be worth a bit of a shout at this point in time. They've been keeping their heads down. 3 players alive only for Navi.
And check it out, on the west side of the zone as well, Luna Galaxy, the 2 remaining players, they've all the way up towards North George and back again. Now they've got a pretty solidly uncontested position. It looks like Tiggleton may just survive an extra minute or 2, grabbing a couple of last-minute first aids. And Ascend, who was the team likely to gatekeep him out, has started to make a push over to the south, into the forest, where Twisted Minds can start looking for angles. But Kwangdong Freaks ramping down the western side
Nobar,
towards
PGS.
Eternal Fire is a team that loves to play center. They drive there very early, and they play their best games from defensive positions when other teams have to push them. And that's exactly what KDF is going to have to try and do.
Tiggleton still got a bit of a run to make. He's spotted out Ascend. At this point, maybe his best case scenario is to just take a 3 point somewhere. I mean, think about the run that he's going to have to make. He's got 5 first aid kits.
Kesehatannya Tiggleton.
But only if he's not spotted.
Yeah, he's got to cross a wide open road. There's still all of Ascend, still all of Falcons. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Let's see if we can manage to pull it off. Because now the Falcons are mounting up and committing to some sort of push. But Ascend in the vehicles. It is Tiggleton who gets 1 knock, but it's immediately stolen away by Snakers. So point denied, but he does get the nice graphic on the screen to say that's his 500th point of damage. Ascend is having none of it. They're in the car directly towards the center and actually directly towards an RV.
Yeah,
they're not going to get all the way.
Tig would have spotted that as well, so he'll be on his way. Now we turn our attention over towards Twisted Minds, as we've sort of touched on a couple of times. Good position. So much from them to start the day off. Just a couple of knocks and kills so far.
Aku lagi belajar observer loh. Enggak, angle-nya kalau lagi perang jauh itu loh. Apa yang didap yang di
itu tuh. Siapa yang materi kemarin kencang dia mindahin tapi tidak jelas. Setiap ada tembakan dia pindahin. Tinggal nonton. Misal kalau lagi sorot arah ini perang misalnya kan. Belum beres tuh, ada yang kedok main dipindahin langsung. Pas orang lagi perang. Bisa cepet-cepet mindahin tapi itu tidak bisa ngasih tontonan.
Makanya dia berusaha mendapatkan ini loh yang map ini loh yang memang harus berdua ini. Ya mecah map itu loh deh. Karena kemarin Maverick udah dipecah.
And Luna Galaxy right now have the perfect position to try and salvage something out of this game from an impossible start.
Yeah, they'll really just try and
berat ini bos, berat ini bos.
I would say, but maybe I'm wrong. I can still see some shots, some cross shots coming through from Luna Galaxy. In that meanwhile, Falcons have been put between a rock and a hard place. Now it's just Snakers surviving inside of the smoke. Tiamba doing a real number to the Falcons.
Masih dapat.
In this sort of area, we saw it a little bit with the Mad trying to drop one over the edge. They just bounce all over the place.
Menjarak langsung Barbel ini Febat. Bukan ini bom.
Out of the way, Snakers just gets out of harm's way as Lynchy was looking for an angle, but no, he does not. Straight into harm's way.
Oh, dia X-nya nyala terus loh padahal.
Open and prone with a headshot, and Twisted Minds put their 5th point on the board in game number 1. And 2 immediate knocks followed up from their
yang WH itu nyala terus dia.
Twisted Minds, they start slow a lot of the time, but they do explode once it gets into sort of phase 5, phase 6 and beyond. Ascend now suffering at the hands of this champion team.
Sambil belajar angle-angle-nya yang bagus. Biar Bapak Bang Yan suka ya kan, terhibur penonton.
Can't really pretend that Twisted Minds didn't get quite a lot of fortune with the zones after they took that emergency parachute to this completely uncontested side of the zone. And now we might just get to see what they're able to do when they're at the disadvantaged position, because Eternal Fire is identified. Look, there's only a duo
Aku
to the south.
di-ban di PUBG
No
ID
Luna
makanya
is 2 men
nonton
up.
sendiri
That's
aja.
all the shots we've heard from the south. We can start getting a little aggressive, but they have left
Bacot.
some position behind for Tiamba to start to backfill on the
Bacotin
very
PUBG.
little lit edge of quarry that still exists.
Di-ban adminnya tapi.
Still under the watchful eye of Twisted Minds as CC gets taken down as he makes a move.
Yeah, example.
Moderator sih bukan admin.
Rotation out on the backside of the blue there, but Toulons has just been absolutely smacked by a grenade there from TDT, and there's a couple more to follow suit, so he'll go down. No res available. Example pretty low. Found out as well behind that.
Aku cuma mau belajar
Gak
lihat map itu loh.
Caught them completely with their pants down and
Tapi
gets a big trade as Code Marco is taken out. It's the backfill again. Tiamba up on the high ground on quarry. Eternal Fire was just here, but they pushed out to the south. They left nobody anchoring. Maybe they
Wah, berat bos, harus turun bos.
party from Twisted Minds would be enough to
Aku
prevent
ganggu
Tiamba from
kalian
making this push, but it simply
ngomong
wasn't.
Holy
And now
Grail.
they're going to lose Code Marco because of it.
Yeah, Lou's not done yet, by the way, for Twisted Minds. Let's not count them out.
Oke,
There's,
tapping
assisting
tipis.
shots actually coming in here from Luna Galaxy. Finally, Twisted Minds will go down. That's in 6th place, but Lou got 2 knocks onto TDT before he fell, and looks like at least one of those has been confirmed. So TDT down to just a duo.
Gila, nggak mau jalan.
Positioning there to just get
Full
themselves
smoke.
a revive on top of quarry, but now they're going to have to work their way down. It goes from bad to worse, really, for these guys.
This is it. TDT, a team out of Vietnam, used to go under the mantle of a reluctant squad, and honestly, if you were told to push 4 versus 4 against Twisted Minds, I don't blame them. I'd be reluctant to do it as well, but they managed to get it over the line. It costs them their 2 veterans who've been in the game since 2021. It's the 2 young gunners that are still up and remaining.
Oke, tapping.
Gonna have to try and find some sort of way to get into this position. Go back to full strength, but the Mad sits down Linshu. They don't really have the time to be taking knocks in this position. The blue zone's going to force them down from the high ground any second now, and now they're just looking for an opportunity to grab the point before they have to move. And 7-7.
Wih, ngeri sekali ada Kong Haji ternyata.
Yeah, he won't be getting back up, and I don't think even Tiamba will be getting back up at all. It seems like they're, at this point, kind of resigned to their fate, and they will go down in 5th place, which leaves us now with a top
TDT
4
ini dari mana TDT ini?
TDT and Luna Galaxy, the team that we've been following since the start of this game. Somehow
Internal.
keep those couple of members alive, and honestly, this now is starting to look like a position that they could
Plum.
actually do something from.
The good news for them is like the Mad is occupied now. They know that TDT is going to have to make
Hola, Mas Bros. Halo, Kong.
third party this, but it does not matter. Navi finally
Kong.
activating their position on the dirt road houses. For so long, they've had to keep their heads down, but now they're getting active.
Okay.
And so said, with an all-important headshot to come through, but he's immediately taken out. Huang F got an opportunity, an angle, and now they're 2 men up. They know that that western ridge is free, and they've got a vehicle to try and make a move towards it.
It's a duo versus a trio. TDT are on their way.
2 melawan 3.
Excellent positioning, but meanwhile, Eternal Fire have started to sweep their way through this zone, and they've taken so much zone control that TDT don't really have much of a pocket of safety to be working with. It is just this one ridge that they're sitting behind.
Namanya pasti
Eternal Fire
Cina
already
nih.
have a beat on exactly where they are.
Yeah, they know that once they've taken that vehicle down, they can just encroach on that position, force them back, and the zone does them no favors. It's not a terrible shift by any means, but it's enough to force them into positions where the Bruin off angle, now calling in Kepler for support, knowing he's been spotted, leaves it just down to essentially a 1 versus 1 against the Mad if they want to try to find any sort of position, but it's just impossible for them to know exactly where he is. And now that he's got the folded shield in position, doesn't even matter. Ruin lands the off angle with a headshot, and Huang F left in a 1 versus 3 against Eternal Fire.
Yeah, not looking like an easy situation for him at all.
1v3 situation.
He's got out Ruin, gets a little bit of damage across. So not making it easy for Eternal Fire. Making them work for it, at least.
Enak ya kalau ada live-nya leaderboard nih.
A historical precedent for MEA teams to get over-aggressive in some situations, to overcommit to fights. Ketpa tosses out a grenade in the wrong location. Huang F has kind of slipped away. They've kind of lost track of where he is. He's positioned himself in a very dangerous position between several players, but the Mad doesn't have the angle just yet. Now he does, but it's not quite enough on the first spray, but the second easily enough comes through. Eternal Fire.
Easy, boss.
Match number 1.
Yeah, very comfortable win as well. Kind of flew under the radar for the vast majority of that game. Kind of started to come into their own as it sort of came down to maybe the final 5, 6, 7 teams. I honestly thought they were in a rough spot with Tiamba above them on the quarry, kind of putting some shots in, but I think Tiamba maybe will want to go back and look at that game and think, what could we have done a bit better there? Because it didn't really feel like they took as much advantage of that position that they could have, and that opens the door up a little bit for Eternal Fire.
Kok masih TPP kade?
Bentar Om.
Enak. Dari mana Eternal nih?
Kanan.
PGS 3, 6 at PGS 4, and first in their first game here at PGS 5. Eternal Fire comes out, plays a heck of a game, and walks away with that big win.
Yeah, it looks strong here for Eternal Fire. Obviously for them to come into, it's a little bit of a hard circle.
Yep.
That southwestern one here for Wrangle, you see a lot of pressure coming in from the north side. The quarry is hard to play. A lot of teams and players getting picked up here and there, as you see in the highlights, but overall, such a hard game to play with that shift coming off that quarry area.
You know, we saw even to the point of a hot drop at the start of the game that obviously didn't go the way that Luna would have liked. We can maybe find some time to talk about that afterwards. But this game, I think, set the pace and what to expect from this event. And it came down that South Quarry. I thought for a minute Tiamba up on that high ground at the shift, maybe just giving them a little bit of something extra. It might have been their game. Na'Vi seemed like maybe it was going to be theirs. Eternal Fire, though, held their position. Got a lot of help from some third-party teams, and I think came out with that big win.
Yeah, that's always the question. You always want to be that last team to lead the quarry. They had that opportunity. Yes, you said here, if they had a little bit of a sliver of that high ground to maybe plan it or to take it off, but it just took too much time for the fights to finish, for them to try to catch as many kills as they could. A lot of kills coming Tiamba's way still, but those southern teams, TVT looking good, obviously. Now we could maybe got a little bit more out of it if they had a little bit of, obviously, one more guy alive, or they had a little bit more control, but they didn't do.
It did. And that was, I kept waiting for a little more to come out of Na'Vi there. Luna also having a pretty good game, but ultimately that we said. Again, the win goes to Eternal Fire. If you guys are unfamiliar with the name, you are not unfamiliar.
Ya main saja. Cuk nggak ada beat, gak seru. Indonesianya nggak ada, Cuk.
Orange.
Ya bikin romantis. Tatap. Cinta.
Deh. Tiga tim cina nanjang.
Pantai lah suhe. Ada yang dapat kumpulan cak banyak yang gitu ya nah.
Main Om.
Udah kan selesai TPP-nya?
Mainnya PP kayo.
PP tak lagi. Ya udah yuk.
Ayo, PP.
Kalau TPP itu aku.
Ngelem kamu.
Yoi. Win streak lah manis. Kita cari tinggal 26.000 poinnya.
Mayan. Mana Bang yang tadi katanya?
Gak dapat apa-apa. Re, aku mau main fokus, Re. Boleh kah?
Waduh. Main lah Om.
Oke. Nanti kalau aku udah
Woi,
fokus nih, udah.
tapi mau ikut apa? Turnamen Indonesia?
Nah ini,
Lumayan.
PK kah dia?
Aku klik dulu ya.
Ngereng kalau gitu, guys.
Nggak bisa aku nak bareng-bareng.
Oh iya ya. Biar ganti-ganti map, Re.
Ya kan ini sering ganti-ganti map Om. Hah?
Apa dia jaknya udah baca ke 4 sih kok. 4 1 2.
Hah? Apa?
Sampai 1-2 apaan Om?
Kan 4 kan?
Iya.
Iya, aku orang Padang asli caknya.
Kalau 1 cie Om.
Cie, bagi dua.
Aku orang Padang asli Caknyo, tapi Caknyo Palembang.
Aku keturunan.
Albino kah?
Yo,
Albino kah?
aku Palembang Padang.